this. All of them back. Their top 16 snap count leaders on offense back. Their top 21 snap count leaders on defense back. All the coordinators back. Head coach back. Never been done. Unprecedented. And I don't remember the last NFL team that had this many Pro Bowl level players on it, but with no holes. Seattle's got a high-end players, but they got some holes in the secondary. The Rams, again, they got some star players, but they got some holes. The Dallas Cowboys have star players, but a lot of holes in the back end. The 49ers, by the way, great players, but holes. It is virtually, in the last 15 years, I cannot think of a roster that's got stars everywhere and essentially is just drafting for depth. They're going to probably take a quarterback and a running back, and none of those guys will play. Anybody they draft, not going to play much. This, of course, is the opposite of what Green Bay is willing to do because Tampa Bay has an advantage. Their history is overwhelmingly briefly great or irrelevant. So Tampa Bay doesn't feel a burden to be relevant. I covered the Buccaneers. I was there. They were irrelevant when I was there. I left. They got relevant great fast. Tampa Bay's entire history is great briefly or irrelevant. There's no pressure. It's like newfound money. It's not family money where you're protecting grandpa and dad's money. Tampa Bay's never had any money. This is their 15 minutes of fame. They don't give a rip. They're going to go all in. Green Bay, meanwhile, is so terrified of the lows, they're not willing to push any money down the road to get highs now. If you go look at Favre and Aaron Rodgers, they only won Super Bowls early in their career when they weren't expensive. The minute Favre and Rodgers did not win in family, more than any reporter in America. So this information is either true or it's out there for a reason, leaked for a reason. The information from Schefter. As much as the Niners love Mac Jones, and they do, I believe the gap between Mac and other quarterbacks like Trey Lance has been narrowed considerably. I can tell you over the weekend, they did not know who they were going to take. Now, I believe they're going to take Mac Jones. It's not what I would do. But as I told you over the last couple of days, they're protecting their butt. Chicago drafted Mitch Trubisky, went all in, had no interest in Deshaun Watson. Now they look like idiots. Trubisky's a bust. Deshaun Watson's very good. Had Chicago gone in and said, we love them both, it's a 50-50 proposition. Leak this story, but God, Deshaun's ACL. Then the GM and the coach, if they get fired, can get another job and not look like they like Trubisky significantly over Deshaun Watson, which is insane. Just like liking Mac Jones over Justin Fields or Trey Lance to me feels insane. But if you pick Mac Jones, there's a strong likelihood that Trey Lance ends up in New England because the story today is New England's moving up. And if Trey Lance goes to New England, sits behind Cam for a year, gets Belichick, that offensive line, and Josh McDaniels, he is going to crush. And if Mac Jones doesn't do well, and I think he would struggle some against, I don't know, the best division in football, especially early, and then Trey Lance in 2 years is rolling, you look really foolish, and you got a losing record. And the fourth best quarterback in your division behind Kyler Murray, Matt Stafford, and Russell Wilson. So I think this is a little bit of San Francisco. They like Mac Jones, they want Mac Jones, and they want to cover their butt a little bit to say down the road, hey, we love Trey Lance too, as he's starring in New England. But I want to talk, everybody thinks the risk is taking Trey Lance. I think the risk is Mac Jones, and I'll tell you why. If you're a 49er fan, and I know we all roll our eyes because fans can be emotional. Fan is short for fanatic. But I want you to take yourself into the eyes of a San Francisco 49er fan. The draft is over. It's Monday. If I was a 49er fan Monday and we draft Trey Lance and we keep Garoppolo, I'm thinking, all right, I got the quarterback that got me to a Super Bowl, and I got a guy physically who needs some development, but he can go toe-to-toe with Mahomes, Josh Allen, as a runner, as a size, as an arm. That's a good Monday for a 49er fan. I got the now win guy. I mean, Garoppolo's 24-8 against, or 8-3 against the NFC West, but he's 24-8 as a starter. Got to a Super Bowl, won a division against Russell Wilson, against the Rams. So I'd feel great Monday morning if I was a Niner fan. I got the guy that got me to a Super Bowl. I mean, I crossed my fingers on his health. But when he's healthy, we win our games. And then I got the future, this wild, crazy, high-ceiling athlete. That's a great Monday. What I don't want Monday is we traded Garoppolo so we could draft a win-now quarterback, and by week 8, he's playing, and he's not clearly anything close to Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson athletically, and has a BB gun compared to Matt Stafford as an arm. That's a bad Monday. So I don't get the win-now guy or the high-ceiling guy. And I think it all comes down to not Mac Jones or Trey Lance, because I would take Trey Lance. Because my belief is Kyle Shanahan's, all 5 of these guys would win with Shanahan. All of them. I've even said, I don't like Mac Jones. I think he'll win. You're not going to win the divisions. You're not going to win Super Bowls. You're going to win with Kyle Shanahan. He went with Matt Schaub. He wins with Kirk Cousins. He wins with everybody. He made Matt Ryan an MVP. Okay? He wins with it. All of these guys will work with them. But why would I want a low ceiling? But it doesn't come down to Mac or Trey. It comes down to Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners, rightly so, are concerned that Garoppolo not only can't stay healthy, he gets hurt in September. And if he gets hurt again, he has no value. Nothing. You can't get anything for him. That's true. But couldn't I argue this? In a world we live in today, where even the Niners give up multiple first-round picks, to draft a college quarterback where they don't know if he'll succeed. Who cares if you don't get anything out of Jimmy Garoppolo? Just think about this. You only gave up a second-rounder for him, and he got you to a Super Bowl. He won your division title. If he gets hurt and Trey Lance has to play a little early, all right, wasn't meant to be. But don't be paralyzed. I thought about this driving in today. You really got everything out of Jimmy Garoppolo you could want for a second-round pick. I mean, he came with an injury history, right? He came with one. You didn't know if he was going to be great. That's why you only gave up a second-round pick, and that's why New England only got a second-round pick. I mean, these quarterbacks out of college now are getting 3 first-round picks. Okay? Jimmy got a second. He got you to a Super Bowl. Just don't worry about it. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt, and Trey Lance plays earlier than you'd like. But do you really think Mac Jones is ready to win the NFC West over Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, and Kyler Murray? If San Francisco just thinks about it this way, we got everything possible out of Jimmy Garoppolo, and you don't worry about getting anything in return. We didn't pay him $30 million. We didn't pay him $40 million. We gave up a second-round pick. You could get a second-round pick now for a right tackle. And he got us to a Super Bowl. So we don't care what we get out of him. Let's just keep him as long as he's upright. We're not going to sign him to another contract, but we're going to keep him as long as we can, cross our fingers on health, and let the much greater athlete with a much bigger arm and the much better body and the much higher ceiling Trey Lance develop. That, to me, feels low risk. I got the win Super Bowl now guy or get to the Super Bowl now guy. I got the high ceiling guy. If I'm a San Francisco fan and I wake up Monday and I got lowest ceiling guy in the toughest division with 3 super talented quarterbacks, and I don't have Garoppolo, so I'm probably not going to be great now, and I'm not sure I'm going to be great later. Instead, if Garoppolo's healthy, we're really good now, can win the division, and Trey Lance has a chance to be a superstar later. Nobody thinks Mac Jones can be a superstar. He's Kirk Cousins. So I know we roll our eyes at fans, but if you're a fan Monday, I'd feel way better about keep Jimmy G, squeeze every last ounce of juice out of that orange. Like, who cares what you get for him? You only give up a second-round pick for him, and then I get the ceiling guy. But the story is interesting because it comes from Adam Schefter. He's tied to the Shanahans. What would I do? Take Trey Lance, keep Jimmy G. What are they going to do, my guess? Trade Jimmy G, fear that he gets hurt, they get nothing, and take Mac Jones, and this is just covering their butt. showing a little interest for other guys. All right, so the Herd, by the way, brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. So the Buccaneers did sign Antonio Brown, eventually. Team-friendly deal. So this is noteworthy, and I'll read this